TBT turns 10 and celebrating in style from Louisville, Kentucky. First time the basketball tournament has been to Louisville, and this historic regional is brought to you by Mr. and Mrs. Bourbon Whiskey. Nighttime in the Derby City. We're on the Kentucky State Fairgrounds inside historic Freedom Hall for the final matchup of the first round. It's an historic matchup. Two longtime TBT teams square off. The 3-seed Eberlein Drive takes on the 6-seed Jackson TN Underdawgs. Berth in the second round is on the line, and there's only one more spot to fill. And the winner of this game takes on the Ville, the Louisville alumni team, in front of over 5,000 fans that dispatched an Auburn alumni team 91-67. Both Eberlein Drive and the Jackson Underdawgs have notched some big-time wins over the history of this tournament and will certainly be up for the challenge of the Ville in round 2. The basketball tournament originated in 2014. The whole tournament was played in Philadelphia that year, and that's where the finals will be played this year for TBT 10. It's a $1 million winner-take-all prize. We've had some teams already advance to the quarterfinal. Bleed Green, a North Texas alumni group. Nasty Natty, a Cincinnati alumni group. And then Heartfire and Aftershocks are playing in their quarterfinal tonight, as a matter of fact. So a whole lot going on throughout the TBT landscape. Eberlein Drive is one of two teams remaining that have been in every TBT field. Now, it's only their 9th appearance because while they were originally in the field in 2020, they had a player test positive for COVID the night before the tournament began, and so they did not officially compete in TBT that year. However, they're one of the TBT Blue Bloods, and although this roster has evolved over the 10 years of TBT, they've got some really good overseas pros who are trying to make a deep run at that $1 million prize. On the other side, the Jackson TN Underdawgs have been in TBT a long time as well. This is a group of players that represents a community in Western Tennessee, Jackson, Tennessee, to be specific. They've upset some of the biggest names over the course of this tournament as a heavy underdog. Hence why they embrace that underdog mentality, Coach.
Good to see you. I was working on getting Peyton Sieva to come and sit with us at the beginning of the first quarter. So
were you successful?
I was successful. He's going to go clean up. His hamstring is killing him. But you talk about the Jackson TN Underdogs. They play as hard as any team at TBT. And this is the most talented Jackson TN Underdog team. They've got a former Louisville player in Chris Jones, who's a big physical guard. But Joe Barford is explosive. He's a proven high-level scorer. Deontay Bradford, who played at East Tennessee, played with their team last year, the Buccaneers. Another guy that can put pressure on the defense. This team, if they stay true to their DNA, is going to be a tough out.
Final game in the first round of the Louisville Regional. And the rules of TBT incorporate different elements of the game worldwide and domestically. It's a 4-quarter game with the elam ending implemented at the end of the 4th quarter. So instead of playing till the end of time, you play to a target score. International goaltending rules means you can play the ball off the cylinder, and you're disqualified after 6 personal fouls, which is like the NBA.
A little bit of everything.
A little bit of this, a little bit of that.
The great Bob Valvano here calling the game for the Ville.
And he'll be back in 2 nights' time.
Along with us.
To await the Ville's second round game against the winner of this game right here.
How impressive was just the whole environment the past game?
I don't want to sound cliche, but you can't say enough. It was fabulous. Every bit as expected, and then some. The crowd was great.
It was great. And this game's going to be good. You're talking about Eberlein Drive, one of the original TBT entrants. maybe one of the worst teams in the TBT, to the point where now they're one of the better teams across the board in the TBT. And then the Jackson Underdawgs, they fit my, I don't care about your pedigree, I don't care about where you played, I don't care if you have NBA experience. Let's throw that thing up and let's go compete. Let's see who's going to win.
Eberlein Drive was put together by Jacob Hirschman, who competed 10 years ago in the original TBT as a 19-year-old college student. Jacob Hirschman grew up on Eberlein Drive, and they were beaten handily in the first round of the first TBT. So Jacob Hirschman partnered with a guy named Matt Mitchell, who played college basketball at Olivet Nazarene in Michigan and coincidentally also played in the first TBT. Those two guys merged brain power, and Matt Mitchell has really taken control of the player acquisition and setting the roster year in and year out, and they've become a TBT trademark franchise. They went all the way to the final in 2018 and lost to overseas elite in a great championship game. The Jackson Tennessee Underdawgs are competing in their 7th TBT. They first entered in 2016 and got into the tournament field that year through fan votes. The basketball tournament that year, in their 3rd year, allowed teams to enter based on fan votes online, and the Jackson Underdogs started basically an online marketing campaign that got them into the tournament.
And they're just good people. I mean, Dexter Williams does a great job coaching them. Aristeris DeBerry is a terrific GM. By day, he is a barber. By night, he's a GM. Obviously, they got Anthony Sampson, one of the smaller players in the TBT, who is just relentless, most dangerous when he's not seen. He's a long-haul trucker. You've got insurance salesmen, you've got educators. I mean, but when that ball goes up, they are hoopers. Hoopers.
And the ball about to go up on the final matchup of our first round in Louisville, and Eberlein Drive wins it. A.J. Slaughter at the point. Emmett Williams gives it back to him. Starters for Eberlein Drive: Max Heidegger, Emmett Williams, A.J. Slaughter, Archie Goodwin, and Jace Johnson. Our starting lineups are brought to you by Puma. And there's a bucket for Archie Goodwin of Eberlein Drive.
Archie Goodwin played a couple of years in the NBA, played at Kentucky for a year. Really athletic, plays really hard, and a very talented dude.
The Jackson Underdogs start Jalen Barford, Terrius Johnson, DeSante Bradford, Antoine Long, and Tevin Glass. Here's Long with the rebound for Jackson. 3 on the shot clock. Bradford missed everything, but there's Glass who puts it back in. However, the shot did not hit the rim, so that's a shot clock violation.
Heidegger played at UCSB, in one of the more beautiful campuses in the country in terms of its location.
That was your old stomping grounds, that conference, the Big West.
That conference, the Big West, and Santa Barbara actually was one of our big rivalries. They actually threw tortillas on the court on their first basket. I always tried to get a technical out of that. Never worked.
How did you try to get a technical out of that?
I told them disrupting the game.
I can't believe they didn't listen to you. I wonder.
These guys listen much better now. It's amazing.
Alongside Seth Greenberg, former head coach at Long Beach State, South Florida, Virginia Tech. Now
undefeated for 12 years.
Now ESPN celebrity broadcaster. I'm Chris Vossers. I mean, you're a popular guy.
You're unbelievable.
No, you are. You are. You got all kinds of people asking to take your picture. You get recognized at the airport. Archie Goodwin, wore that awful color in these parts, blue, as a Kentucky Wildcat.
I'm surprised people aren't sticking around just to boo him.
Wouldn't put it past the Louisville Cardinal faithful. Tevin Glass to the rim.
Kevin Glass is an explosive downhill driver, flies around.
Jace Johnson led the G League in rebounds this year, but he picks up a charge or an offensive foul.
Jace Johnson played at the University of Utah. He is a very skilled front court player who can really protect the rim and rebound.
From inside historic Freedom Hall in Louisville, Kentucky, Desante Bradford. Jalen Barford. Johnson looking for the rebound. It's out of bounds, and it belongs to Eberlein Drive.
Barford and Bradford are two guys that at any given time can take over a game offensively. Both guys are really can score. This is what the Underdogs are all about. Physicality defensively, making it hard to run offense. A.J. Slaughter, he's about making jump shots.
Emmett Williams for three, and the rebound to Long. Jalen Barford finds his spot and hits it. He's a bucket.
That guy is a big-time shot maker.
Jalen Barford had a great career for the Arkansas Razorbacks after starting at Motlow State Community College. Bradford comes up empty, and here's Heidegger. And he turns it over.
And that's right there what Jackson's all about. It's being active defensively, getting your hands on balls, being unselfish.
Terrius Johnson. And Jace Johnson, the rebound.
There is no back down to the Underdogs. Elite jump shooter.
A.J. Slaughter.
Western Kentucky's finest.
Eberlein Drive had some abrupt and last-minute changes to their roster. There's Barford again, and the point guard situation for Eberlein Drive, something to monitor in this game.
Barford gets his feet underneath him, gets on balance as quick as anyone in this tournament. He will be a tough matchup no matter who they play against. They're having a hard time getting a good look right now.
Barford, here he is, coach. He draws the foul and hits the bucket. Chance for a 4-point play for Jalen Barford, who's wasted no time making a statement in his fifth TBT.
That's SEC on SEC crime, and that's deep range. Didn't give him a chance to land, and that's a 4-point play opportunity. We said it earlier, this is the most talented Jackson underdog. I'm not sure they're the Underdogs anymore. They might be the Jackson favorites.
Doesn't have the same ring to it. But there's Barford off his own miss.
They're a team that gets every 50-50 ball. If you're not ready to play, if you don't compete, you've got a problem against this team.
Lost a heartbreaker in the first round last year to an Oregon alumni team by 1 point. Terrius Johnson misses. There's another rebound for Jackson and Desante Bradford. Terrius Johnson lays it in.
One team is engaged, one team is watching. I mean, that's really what it comes down to. And that's the storyline coming into this game. That was going to be the challenge coming into this game.
Eberlein can't buy a rebound right now.
They're having a hard time getting open looks, too.
There's a look for Justin Johnson.
Johnson, a former big-time, look at this. Just not stopping the basketball, no communication.
Desante Bradford.
Bradford and Barford, they are two tough matchups, and everyone else just plays so hard. We always say the hardest playing, toughest team. You got to have talent, there's no doubt about it. But if you don't compete at a high level, you have no chance in this tournament.
Heidegger for three. Here's Barford. Over to Chris Jones.
Can they get a stop?
Around Slaughter. Heidegger the rebound.
Chris Jones spent some time on the Louisville team.
Here's Heidegger again for three.
I had you back.
and Tevin Glass after Heidegger over-pursued. I knew you had me. I wasn't even remotely concerned.
It's good to know.
The Underdogs doubling up Eberlein Drive. Later stages of the first.
They can't get, unless they shoot it quick, every single shot has really been contested. Now this guy can make plays. He's playing on a bad ankle though.
Barford throws it up. Archie Goodwin broke the play up. Timeout.
Impressive to say the least for the Underdogs. Barford, Bradford, Jones attacking, defending, making Eberlein Drive react to them.
Still early in Louisville. The basketball tournament is presented by Puma Basketball. Cost Plus, the low-cost provider for medications. And by the National Basketball Players Association, the union for the 450 best basketball players in the world. TBT's $1 Million Championship is coming to Philadelphia. Semifinals August 2nd, championship Thursday night, August 3rd. Tickets are selling out fast. In fact, they're almost sold out. Head to thetournament.com for tickets. Who will hit the $1 million shot? Well, Coach, we've got a candidate in between us right now who can hit that $1 million shot. Peyton Siva, who just starred for the Louisville alumni team, in their first ever TBT win, first ever TBT game over War Ready, an Auburn alumni team. Peyton, a lot to process from the game, your performance, the team's performance, the crowd. What are your initial reactions to running it back with some close friends, former teammates, and playing in front of Louisville Cardinal fans again?
I mean, you guys were here. You guys heard the Louisville fans just electric in this building. It's just amazing that how much they just love basketball here. I mean, we're 10 years removed, and they were cheering like we were here today. So it was amazing to get back out here in Louisville in front of the fans and everybody. So it was exciting.
What was it like for you to put that uniform on with the Ville on it one more time, represent this community, this fan base? This is your community now, and play with your guys.
It was amazing, man. It's a surreal feeling, and shout out to the TBT for allowing it to happen. I mean, a lot of guys here don't really get a chance to play in front of family and friends, especially being across the waters. So just to be able to come back and play in front of your alumni, your city, you know, I live here now, so these guys are family, and playing in front of family and friends is amazing.
What'd you think of Russ Smith and the Elam ending in particular.
I mean, that's Russ's game. You guys know that. I mean, there's not a shot that Russ doesn't like. And once he made the first two, I said, okay, walk it up. You saw him the crowd started hyping him up. I mean, Russ can go 0 for 30, and he's still going to take the Elam ending shot and make it. So we were very happy for him, and that's why we have him on our team.
Let me ask you, like, you and Russ, just how disruptive you guys were as a tandem. What do you think? All right, so you came away, you had a good win, you guys played pretty well. Here's the million-dollar question. What do you think Coach Pitino would have said after the game?
Oh, he would have, and I talked about this. I'll probably get a call from him after this. I had one turnover that game, and he's probably going to get on me about that one turnover. He's Peyton, are you kidding me? What kind of pass is that? And, it was a blunder. We were up by 20, and I tried to get it to Kyle, and we had fun about that at the end of the bench. And then he'll grab Russ's head and just tell him, son, don't even look at way.
Peyton, it was really fun to watch you play up close. Your court vision is amazing, and you made your teammates look really good with some of your great passing, and that drew some of the biggest crowd reactions that we saw over the course of the game. You're getting people shouting at you now as you're sitting with us. But how did you become such a good passer, and how did you really develop that part of your game?
I think a lot it helped me with Coach Pitino. Coming into college, I was known as a scorer, and that's what was asked of me in high school. But I had to really change my game and sacrifice a lot. I wouldn't say sacrifice, but I wanted to win, and winning above all is the most important to me, and that's what I wanted to do. So we watched a lot of film on Rondo, and shout out to Rondo. He came a lot of times to our summer pickup games, and I got a chance to watch him in person. But Rondo, Steve Nash, just learning how to keep my dribble alive and learning how to just get guys easy shots. And those fast breaks, that's where I get a lot of my bread and butter, just making the right read. And it doesn't hurt when you have Kyle Kirk spotting up in the corner, right?
The one person that people wanted to see maybe spot up in the corner didn't get that warm-up suit off. My man, Cool Hand Luke. I mean, and I'm kind of happy because I gave him one message as kind of like a little bit of his mentor at ESPN is, Luke, do everything but get hurt.
Yeah, Luke still got the shot. He showed it in walkthroughs and everything, but I think Luke wanted to be more like Jackie Moon, like a player, coach, owner. Luke is calling out all type of plays and trying to run plays that were ran at U of L 10 years ago, and I'm just like, Luke, no one else remembers that besides you. You can't tell these guys.
You're giving me too much ammunition now.
It was funny, man. I didn't want him to go out there and pull a hammy.
Yeah. Speaking of that, how's your leg feel? And what's between now and the next game? You see how this Jackson team, aggressive team, both of these teams have some talented players. You played with a little bit of a hurt hammy. What kind of rehab will you have between now and when you guys lace it up again on Thursday?
I mean, luckily they've hired a great physical therapist staff, and then we have another. U of L has a great physical therapist in Devontae, and I literally stayed in there from about 8 this morning until game time, and I think they're tired of me already. But it's all about just taking care of my body. I'll see how I feel tomorrow. But, my job is to just go out there and be the leader, get guys easy shots, calm Russ down when things gets going, and, just let him be free and let him be Russ when I'm out. So.
I got a last question. Like Mr. and Mrs. Bourbon. I mean, come on now. You got to have something like when he came up with this concept, and obviously everyone I talked to said it's absolutely a high-rated bourbon. But did you think that Russ was always going to be this entrepreneur and this New York City slick?
I did. When I first met Russ, I always told him he was like the Dos Equis guy. He's the most interesting man I ever met. You just never know it, Russ. You might see him drinking bourbon, listening to rap, and then the next day come with country boots on and a 10-gallon hat. You just never know it, Russ, and that's the beauty of him. He just keeps you on your toes, and he's the same way on the court, and that's why I love him to death. He's kind of my yin to my yang, and that's why we always connected well. On the court, off the court, he's always been a brother for life.
That's awesome. Thank you so much. Take care of your leg. That was a treat for us to watch you play.
It was fun seeing that reconnection again. Peyton, thank you very much. Good luck the rest of TBT. We appreciate it. Back after this from Freedom Hall.
LaMelo Ball, Mello, Dip, Heen, 1 of 1, that boy, that man. What it mean to be mellow? Shoot, to be you for real. You know what I'm saying? I don't know any other way. Just follow your instincts and stay true to yourself. However you feeling pretty much is a feel. You gotta trust yourself. Not from here, 1 of 1. This, that, hit, hat, big back.
Who needs caffeine?
Oh, you're the best. How should we pay you back?
Zelle, of course. I always ask for Zelle.
Great. I'll just...
With Zelle, the money goes straight into my bank account. And it works even if you bank somewhere different than I do.
I
So in
actually...
conclusion, you should always ask for Zelle. Oh, looks like we have some late arrivals. I'll take it from the top.
Zelle. Look for it in your banking app.
Welcome back to Freedom Hall. Going to be a short 3 quarters here coming up between Jackson, Tennessee and Eberlein Drive the way this game has started. But there's Kyle Couric. Still, he can't get out of the gym, Coach. You know, he's got so many adoring fans from Cardinal Nation. He and all of his teammates. It was really cool seeing them back wearing Cardinal red again.
It was just fun, and visiting with Russ and visiting with Luke and visiting with Peyton. This meant a lot to these guys, and I think it meant a lot to the fans here. But no matter who wins this game, it's going to be a grind because both of these teams are really talented and play really hard.
It's the Jackson Underdawgs versus Eberlein Drive, 2 teams with a lot of TBT history. George Stanberry misses the baseline J, but there's another rebound, this time for Cornelius Hudson, and Jordan Varnado hits the 3.
And Jordan Varnado's a big that can step out and shoot the ball. You remember his brother at Mississippi State, a big-time shot blocker. Extra possessions. Can you create turnovers? Can you get to the offensive glass? And that's exactly what, right now, the Underdogs are doing.
Max Heidegger draws the foul.
But you can't foul the three-point shooter.
Heidegger's got the green light. He's already shot 4 threes in this game, made 1 of them. And the foul on Stanberry.
Cornelius Holden played at Wake Forest.
Max Heidegger's player share sent with Zelle right into his bank account, 75,000 strong if Eberlein Drive goes all the way to the $1 million prize. Eberlein Drive competing in its 9th TBT, one of 2 inaugural TBT teams still in the field. They missed 2020 because of a positive COVID test. Jackson Underdawgs in their 7th basketball tournament. Hudson off the mark. Rebound put back Varnado, and Eberlein is getting crushed on the glass.
They're getting crushed on the glass, and they're getting crushed on all the hustle points. And there's Jones with quick hands, and there you go. Look, think about the number of guys who are on the floor. There's Slaughter with the putback. But, you know, you're looking at a team. They've upgraded their talent level, but they've still kept their identity. And this team will be hard to play against. I don't care who it is.
Johnson wins the board, and he throws it away.
Just seems like Eberlein Drive's out of sync.
Mentioned the roster changes that hit Eberlein Drive very close to tip-off earlier this week. A little light right now. Just 7 guys, Coach.
And on the other hand, the Jackson Underdogs, they're coming out in waves. I mean,
Right.
They're coming out in waves. And the thing is, whoever they put in the game, they played the same way.
There's Archie Goodwin, who's leading Eberlein Drive with 11 points.
He's got 11 of their 20, and he's played with little energy. Slaughter's played with little energy, but they got to be able to get a rebound. And they've got to keep the ball out of the lane.
Hudson falls. Leland Robinson takes the 3. I was just thinking that, Coach. Sometimes teams who try and play everybody on their roster run into trouble because these games move so fast that they lose rhythm by rotating in new players. The Jackson Underdogs can go to their bench and not worry about losing momentum.
They don't lose momentum because of the style of their play. I mean, I think the big thing for them is their style of play. The style of play is predicated on working hard, competing, being unselfish, attacking offensively and defensively. So that's what's expected of you when you go in a game. And that's how they play.
And here comes what amounts to a line change for head coach Dexter Williams and the Jackson Underdogs. There's their general manager, Darius DeBerry, passing out water cups.
There's a pride in the Jackson Underdogs team for the community they're representing. There's a trust amongst their teammates. You can see these guys like each other.
Here comes A.J. Slaughter, his 3rd year with Eberlein Drive. Longest current member of Eberlein Drive, tenured with the team.
And they're working their way back into this game. And the big thing is they've got to rebound the ball on the defensive end. And A.J. Slaughter is a really good player. He was a terrific player at Western Kentucky. He's an elite shooter. He had himself a game when we had him in Lexington. He was absolutely terrific. He understands what the TBT is all about. I think he understands how hard you have to play. He's played for the Gran Canaries in Spain. He's played in France. He's played in Greece. He's played in Italy. Very good player, but he's got to make a couple free throws. Here's the toughest matchup. And Archie Goodwin is a guy that built his reputation on being a multi-position defender. Now he's playing against a big physical guard that can create an offense anytime he wants, as can Bradford.
It's Bradford who draws the foul on Max Heidegger of Eberlein Drive.
And this is a tough combination. It's a really tough combination between these two guys. I'll be interested, how about if Jackson Underdogs wins and Chris Jones playing against the Louisville team? That will be an interesting dynamic.
It's a great storyline for sure. It's DeSante Bradford, who played for some really good East Tennessee State teams from 2014 to 18, and East Tennessee State has entered alumni teams into TBT for the last 3 years now under the name Buccaneers. And Bradford played for those Buccaneers teams.
And Bradford is a guy that played for the great Steve Forbes, another current Wake Forest coach who's done a great job. And those teams were really good. Played for Coach Forbes in junior college as well.
Bradford dishes through the hands of Johnson, and it stays with Jackson. Underdogs now looking a little bit out of sorts. Just 6 points in the quarter.
You're going to see Bradford and Barford get a shot up. Yeah,
there's Bradford.
That wasn't a great shot.
Long saves it. It didn't draw rim. That one does, but Justin Johnson, the rebound for Eberlein.
See how they jam the outlet pass? If you can clear the outlet pass, you have numbers.
A technical foul on Justin Johnson of Eberlein Drive.
And he just took the ball out of his own team's hands in a 2-on-1.
Wow.
Yeah, if I'm an official, I pass on that until the play's over. We've seen some technicals.
Yep.
Jarrell Eddy almost got a costly one.
Well, he did get a technical in the first game.
And in Elam ending.
Justin Johnson's still pretty hot.
One thing I learned a long time ago, there's no sense debating those guys.
What do you think?
There's only one winner to the debate.
Yeah. You know, unfortunately, being right or wrong doesn't matter in that encounter. Here's Archie Goodwin. He's fouled. No, he went over and back, and it's Jackson ball.
He's got to get to the next play right now. He's hurting his team. There's the ball is over half court, and he took over. He took off. He received the ball in the back court.
9 turnovers for the Drive. Right when they were getting back in this game.
And they're back in the game, but they've got to right now be a little bit tougher mentally and physically.
5 on the shot clock. Johnson blocks Johnson. Justin Johnson blocks Terrius Johnson.
And I like the way they'll post up about anyone. There's trapping those ball screens.
And here comes Tevin Glass for Jackson.
They need a timeout right now, Eberlein Drive, because they cannot come out of these balls. Every time they come off a ball screen, it's a blitz and a rotate. Look at the pressure on the ball.
There's your timeout from Eberlein head coach Justin Wetzel. 4 turnovers in 2 minutes for Eberlein Drive.
And right now, there's a little bit of unrest right now. They've got to regroup and just get to the next play. Most important thing is the next play right now in terms of being executed. But they got to eliminate those ball screens at half court where they can use the half court. Watch right here. Here's the ball screen. There's the trap. There's the rotation. They're off and running. So any ball screen at the half court line is going to be a trap, and we call it blitz, where there'll be 2 interceptors and a protector. And right now, Jackson Underdog is doing Jackson Underdog things. We saw Russ Smith do Russ Smith things. This is true to their identity. If you're prepared for Jackson Underdogs, you know they're going to blitz ball screens. You know they're going to scrape the ball out of the post. You know they're going to trap and rotate all over the floor. And you've got to play with good spacing. I love this team.
Underdog's first season in TBT was 2016. They were the lowest seed in the field, the lowest ranked team in the field, and they upset a Kentucky alumni team in the first round. And as far as their TBT track record was concerned, they reached legendary status. There's Emmett Williams, the former LSU Tiger.
And he needs to do more of that. I know he can make shots, but they've got to put him in situations where he can drive, get downhill, and then if they send a second defender, he can kick it out to shot makers.
He picked up 2 quick fouls and was on the bench, a very short bench for Eberlein Drive.
And you're like, if you're Mark Lieberman right now and you're watching this game, you're seeing different guards being posted, and that's what you're going to have to deal with on Thursday night.
They may be underdogs on paper, but they're in front 31-24. Are they down? The basketball tournament is presented by Puma Basketball, Zelle, the official payment partner of TBT, and by NBA 2K24. See you on the court. Rated E. Teams have already punched their ticket to the quarterfinal, and one quarterfinal in progress as we speak in Wichita. It's Heartfire versus the Wichita State alumni team Aftershocks, playing on their old home floor, the Roundhouse. And it's Heartfire playing really on a road game, Coach, that has the lead closing in on halftime.
And Heartfire is doing a great job of defending the three-point line, holding Aftershock 1 for 9 from the three-point line. Heartfire on the other end, 7 for 11. And Marcus Hull, the KG veteran, played at the University of Colorado. He's off to a great start with 8 points. The length of Heartfire, the toughness and the maturity against an aging a little bit Aftershock team. They're going to need Marcus McDuffie to start to make plays if they're going to have a chance to get back in this game. Great cut.
Emmett Williams and one. The one thing I'll just say about Aftershocks quickly is that they've been down in all of their games before.
Good point. Good point. They've been down, but they haven't played a team as mature as Heartfire. When you got a guy like Craig Sword, who's a mature leader, when you got Raphael Putney, when you have Marcus Hall, those guys have played in big games. Those guys are experienced, and they're all really good players. Good spacing right there, just looking high-low.
Jalen Barford for three.
That's just really good offense. They went a little stagger ball screen, got to a high-low, didn't get it, screened away, got a little screen away for Barford. He just jumped up and knocked down the jumper.
Foul on Antoine Long of the Underdogs.
And this is just really good. There's the stagger double ball screen. They look inside. They're trying to play high-low basketball. You skip it. You see the screen away. You fall asleep. And that's just a big-time jumper. You cannot let him step into threes. Archie Goodwin's been really good. They need more from Williams. They need more from Slaughter. And then those complementary players just got to be tougher.
Archie Goodwin is from Little Rock, Arkansas. He's really good friends with Jalen Barford. who's playing for Jackson and has the ball in his hands right now. Their kids were hanging out after practice the other day.
Another 50-50 ball. You better check these guys off the glass because they go after every single missed shot. They've got depth and they've got bodies.
Eberlein Drive does not.
No.
Literally playing with 6 players.
They're basically depleted.
Tevin Glass puts it in.
Kevin Glass, also another guy from East Tennessee. Like a positionless, slashing, scoring. I mean, these guys are used to winning games. There's the rotation. They make it throw out.
Goodwin draws the foul.
They make you react to them is basically what it comes down to. Right? You're always reacting to the next defender. You're always reacting and having to make a play. And that's when you're good. When you have a good team, you've got to react to your opponent.
Barford fouls his buddy Goodwin, who hits the free throw. 13 points for Archie Goodwin.
Archie Goodwin's been good. He's been aggressive. Now he's got to be, if he's going to guard Barford, he's got to be more alert defensively.
Goodwin played for the Eberlein Drive in 2021. Eberlein Drive made it to the 3rd round that year. 11-8 all-time at TBT, Eberlein Drive.
Can they get stops? Can they get 50-50 balls? And, you know, I love that they can post about anyone. And Hudson, you've got to cut them out off the glass. They are flying to the glass, and they can post anyone, which creates rebound matchup problems. There's the trap. You got to throw it out. That's a deep 3.
Heidegger in and out. Justin Johnson, the stick back. It's a big body.
Justin Johnson, a big-time high school football prospect.
Hudson too high off the glass, but an offensive rebound.
Absolutely crushing him on the glass.
Desante Bradford uses the glass effectively.
Desante Bradford, size, the ability to put it down, shoot the basketball. The number of guys that can make plays both offensively and defense. Watch this individual one-on-one defense. It just speeds you up.
Chris Jones off to Bradford. Lane is wide open. The dish to glass. Almost shattered the glass.
Unselfish basketball.
Tevin Glass has 10, Coach.
Tevin Glass has been really, really good.
Slaughter blocked by Hudson. Chris Jones up the floor. Jones to the lane, to the rim.
Every time Eberlein Drive makes a run, Jackson basically goes out and either makes a play defensively or on the glass.
Another steal for the Underdogs, and Archie Goodwin got back to break up the alley-oop.
That's no foul. They might be calling a foul. That's just a loose ball and a tap out. Good back tap. Good hit ahead. A great hustle play by Archie Goodwin. That's not a foul.
Yeah,
that's a good hustle play.
But it puts Cornelius Hudson at the line.
And Cornelius Hudson, Wake Forest, good player, can make a shot.
Winning share sent with Zell directly to his bank account. Underdog's best run at TBT came in 2019. They went all the way to the quarterfinal, beat another 1 seed in the first round, Gale Force, that year. They were playing in Memphis, the Memphis Regional. That was basically a home regional for Jackson Tennessee, right by Memphis. Here's Emmett Williams. Final minute until halftime. Underdogs by 13. About a 3-second difference between the shot clock and the game clock. Chris Jones and Hudson traveled. Justin Johnson off to Goodwin. Goodwin at the buzzer, it counts. And some momentum for Eberlein Drive going into the locker room, but they still trail the Underdogs by double figures.
Archie Goodwin's been terrific, but it's been the effort right here. You see Archie Goodwin, he's going to get that thing off, but it's been the effort of the Underdogs. It's been the guard play of the Underdogs. It's been the selfish play of the Underdogs. It's been the toughness of the Underdogs that has dominated this game.
Two long-standing TBT teams meet in the first round of the Louisville Regional. At halftime, the Jackson Underdawgs, the 6th seed, trying to spring another upset. It's what their pedigree is based on. They lead Eberlein Drive by 11.
Here we go, at the top of the class on a roll, and it's time to run it up, yeah you know. Maxed out, put the pedal to the floor, hey, on a roll, here we go, yeah. At the top of the class on a roll, hey, and it's time to run it up, yeah you know, yeah. Maxed out, put the pedal to the floor, yeah. On a roll, here we go.
No freaking way.
What?
Crossplay's coming to 2K! Crossplay's coming to 2K! Crossplay's coming to 2K, yo! Crossplay's coming to NBA 2K.
Hey, yo, kid, wait up. Product not yet rated.
First time ever in any type of organized basketball, the Elam ending is in effect for today's game. So 95 is the target. Pepper at the line ends the game. Here comes Peoria on the break.
Here we go.
For the win.
Ball game. can't give up a layup, guys.
Merriweather headed to Charlotte.
Parks for the win. Got it!
Dater gets the screen. Long look. Bottoms! And the Golden Eagles are going to Baltimore.
It's the so-called Elam ending.
The Elam ending.
The Elam ending 100% works.
Kyle Davis drives, goes to the hoop, misses, tipped up, winner. Devin Oliver.
Out there with Klein and Jones, Gill and Justin Harper. They get Jones backdoor for the win.
I love it. Instead, it's Luther for the win.
It's hard to get to the free throw line. Now this is a matchup Rice has. Sykes bucket.
Got it! Bayhard Darby wins it!
Massenberg has it. Outside to Perkins. Fakes the shot. Takes the foul line jumper. It's good! And Blue Powder U survives!
We're at the famed Rucker Park, the most iconic playground in basketball.
Oh, the foul! Oh, man!
They split the D, kick it out for the win. Got it!
Aiken rocking the rim. Has it knocked away. Here's Swan. Swan pulling up for the win. Yes!
Yes and no!
The slingshot winner. Nice. Good look. Double. Stolen. Carter. The win. The dunk.
How about that lasagna?
Thanks for having us. Oh, and here's the money I owe you.
Okay, so whenever we need to get paid back, we always ask for Zelle.
I know, but we use different banks.
Zelle works even if you bank somewhere different than we do.
Just take the money.
With Zelle, the money goes straight into my bank account.
Put it in your pocket.
I prefer it in my bank account.
Everything okay in here?
Yeah, no, everything's great. Just pay me with Zelle. Zelle. Look for it in your banking app.
Nighttime in the Ville. Our regional presented by Mr. and Mrs. Bourbon Whiskey. And inside Freedom Hall on the grounds of the Kentucky State Fair, our final matchup of the first round. The Jackson Tennessee Underdogs lead Eberlein Drive 44-33. Two teams that have made their mark on this tournament year in and year out, Coach. And again, the Jackson Tennessee Underdogs in name only, especially when they have guys on their roster like Jalen Barford.
Jalen Barford is a hard matchup. He's a big physical guard who can shoot the three, stretch the defense, create separation off the bounce. They did a great job right there. You see that little screen away they got for him. You got to find him in transition or knock it down. And the difference of this game is just the toughness right now of this Jackson Tennessee team. I mean, 17 outscoring. You want to drive 17-7 in second chance points and points off turnovers. That will get you beat. 17-7. You see that? That's basically the difference in the contest, as well as their inability to protect the paint. Jackson's done a really good job of getting the shot they wanted when they wanted.
The rebound margin is only +7 for the Jackson Underdogs. Honestly, I would have thought it was more than that.
Yeah, but the most important, I'm going to give you a little lesson here. The most important thing is offensive rebounds. It's 13-4. And
there's the rub.
That's the difference in the game. So you don't just look at the number of rebounds, you look at the offensive rebound differential. Stick around, you'll learn something.
Even at this late,
I can't help myself.
Of an hour, Seth Greenberg dispensing knowledge. Archie Goodwin, 16 points in the first half for Eberlein Drive. Here's A.J. Slaughter.
Look how active the hands are right there. Big time shot. Slaughter and Goodwin have to take this game over. Williams has got to stay out of foul trouble and be more productive. But it's going to come down to competing. I mean, really just competing. This Jackson team competes. See, they can post up anyone. Glass played for Steve Forbes, started at Wichita State.
Johnson blocked by Emmett Williams. And Johnson with the heady play to throw it off Williams and keep the ball with the Underdogs.
See, having those guys that played at East Tennessee and understand competing and winning, along with guys like Barford, is really, really important. And then just everything that Jackson Underdogs stand for in terms of how they play. Good little run right here, 7-point game.
Jace Johnson with the lay-in, assist Emmett Williams. Bradford drives and kicks. Johnson for three.
Just when you think they got a little run, they answer, get a paint touch, kick out. Johnson knocks down the three.
Archie Goodwin.
A little bit better flow right now for this Eberlein Drive team.
Winner moves on to the second round and plays the Ville, the Louisville alumni team and host of this regional. And they just whistled Terrius Johnson for a foul.
See, the hard thing right now is they need someone to create a shot for Slaughter, who's a big-time three-point shooter, but they really don't have anyone who can create something for him. Look at Barford just hold Slaughter on that screen. And Archie Goodwin's playing ball right now.
He sure is. 20 points. Antoine Long looking for Johnson. Knocked off the rim by Emmett Williams. You can do that, but Tevin Glass on the weak side lays it in.
Tevin Glass is like a junkyard dog around the basket. He's relentless on the glass, pursues every missed shot like it's a pass off the backboard. See, like, that's not Slaughter's game. Slaughter's game is coming off screen. Slaughter's game is being spotted up. And I'm a big Slaughter fan. Great pace.
Bradford hits the runner.
Great pace. They're hard to keep out of the lane. Bradford, Barford, those guys are hard to keep out of the lane. Look at this defense on the ball. That's what happens when you don't have a point guard. It puts a lot of pressure on your ball handlers, your secondary ball handlers.
Barford like a shark in the water.
I was working out this morning. I think it was Shark Week.
Yeah, I think it is too.
Had to change the channel. Couldn't watch it.
Not a fan of sharks, huh?
Not a fan of sharks. Sharks knocking boats over. Makes you think about going into the ocean.
What kind of boat are you in?
I don't know. In
Like
the movie, they were like canoes.
Well, that's your first mistake. Goodwin steps back.
I could see you as a deep sea fisherman.
Well, yeah, not in a
hat.
canoe.
I mean, because you're a great American. I mean, I've seen the pictures of you in the wild with the camouflage stuff and the big hats, rowing down the river.
You got to be
Yeah,
prepared.
but
Well,
you're in rivers where there's just fish. I mean, like you weren't in the ocean.
yeah, no sharks in fresh water.
You just don't get this everywhere. So you a fan of Shark Week?
Well, it's...
Did you watch it?
Of course. It's, the highlight of late July when there's nothing else on TV, and then TBT came into the picture, and so
I've just changed everything.
Yeah, for the last 6 years, I haven't had as much time to watch Shark Week as I typically would.
Was that the Sci-Fi channel? I don't even know what channel it was on. I was actually
Discovery.
on the treadmill listening to music, and it just so happened to be behind me, and it caught a glimpse of it.
That's impressive because you're locked when you get on.
You were sleeping.
When you get on the treadmill, you are locked in. Locked in like the Jackson TN Underdawgs. Johnson the rebound for Eberlein Drive. Justin Johnson up the floor to Goodwin. Alley-oop, Emmett Williams.
Archie Goodwin's played really. This is the best I've seen Archie Goodwin play. He's playing both ends of the floor. He's been unselfish. His shot selection's been good. I mean, you're talking about a guy that's played a couple years in the NBA. He's a guy that could be a winning player. The problem is they just don't. Again, it goes, but that's just too easy. I mean, Kevin Glass, you got to guard him.
Clearly, he's got 14 points. Here's Archie Goodwin, first-round draft pick by Oklahoma City in 2013.
Think about how hard A.J. Slaughter has to work to get a shot. Watch this. I mean, they're making every catch hard, every dribble hard. They're pushing him out. Now,
Bradford for three.
We said at the start of the game, this is the most talented Jackson underdog team. I don't think you can hurt Barford.
No. He's built like a brick wall. This is Glass
Good
for
unselfish
Hudson.
basketball. Beautiful basketball. Everyone making a play for someone else.
Making Coach Greenberg proud.
Dexter Williams does a great job with this team because they are so unselfish, yet they play so hard. They've got the essence of who they've been, and they've added these pieces, and look how hard it is for A.J. Slaughter to just get a look.
Bradford again. Glass uses the glass and has 18 points.
And if we get that play again, you see Holden, Hudson keeping the ball alive for Glass to get on the glass.
9-0 run for the Jackson
This is
Underdawgs.
just good basketball. In transition, open up the floor, fill lanes, fill the slot. Here's the kick ahead. There's the extra pass, and one more. Good, better, best. That's a high percentage shot.
from Louisville, let's check in on where are we going? West Virginia or Wichita? Both are in action. Thank you, appreciate it. Here's the Marshall alumni team, Heard That, taking on Zoo Crew in the third.
Scourge Williams is a tough matchup. Obviously, we know how good John Elmore is. The Heard team is a hard team to play against because of the way they play. And you can see right now the Zoo Crew just not ready for TBT. They got a good mixture of youth and experience, probably not enough good veteran guys that can really impact winning. Just a little bit too old. Although I have to admit, you called that. You thought they were a little old. You thought they were a little old.
Well,
expert analysis once a year.
You know, I get right every now and then. There's a foul on Jackson. One more spot to fill in the second round of the Louisville Regional. Our 3-6 matchup going the way of the underdog, who's named the Underdogs. Justin Johnson, Heidegger for three. Got it.
They need stops, they need rebounds, they need to play ahead of this aggressive defense. Just so many different pieces on this Jackson Underdog team.
Representing the city of Jackson, Tennessee, and the west part of the state, near and around Memphis. A lot of these players originally were either teammates or adversaries at the two high schools in Jackson, Tennessee, Liberty and Southside. There's Cornelius Hudson.
Cornelius Hudson just putting the ball on the ground, getting to the rim, no resistance. And that's what when I talk about floor gamers, when you have bigs that can put the ball on the floor, all right, it puts so much pressure on the defense. What a pass.
Varnado. Justin Johnson tries the three. Chris Jones the other way. He pulls up. Heidegger pulls it around and out. Cornelius Hudson finds a spot, and the team's trading missed buckets right now.
But Hudson, you know, good size, good skill.
Justin Johnson into the corner for Heidegger. Final minute of the third. Both teams have gone cold. Archie Goodwin led the Kentucky Wildcats in scoring as a freshman with plays like that.
They're trying to get back in this game, but every time that Eberlein Drive gets a run, Jackson Underdogs makes a statement play. 3 seconds between shot clock and game clock. Fouls to give for Eberlein Drive if they want to.
Chris Jones got it for three. And that counts at the horn as well. Cornelius Hudson. Just as you said, Coach, right when Eberlein gets a bucket or two, the Underdogs take the momentum right back.
Just a lack of focus right there, and a defeated team. That's a great penetration and kick out. Good shot fake by Chris Jones, and then just careless throwing the ball in bounds. And a statement is being made by the Underdogs, the Jackson Underdogs, who have a bite right now.
On to the fourth. Underdogs up big. The basketball tournament is presented by Zelle, the official payment partner of TBT, the National Basketball Players Association, the union for the 450 best basketball players in the world, and by Visit Syracuse. Plan your next getaway today at visitsyracuse.com.
Here we go, at the top of the class on a roll, and it's time to run it up, yeah you know. Maxed out, put the pedal to the floor, hey. On a roll, here we go, yeah. At the top of the class on a roll, hey. And it's time to run it up, yeah you know, yeah. Maxed out, put the pedal to the floor, yeah. On a roll, here we go.
No freaking way.
What?
Crossplay's coming to 2K! Crossplay's coming to 2K! Crossplay's coming to 2K, yo! Crossplay's coming to NBA 2K.
Hey, yo, kid, wait up.
Product not yet rated.
Let's take a peek at the happenings in Wichita. A TBT quarterfinal in progress between Heartfire and the Wichita State alumni team. Look at the crowd, Coach.
Big time crowd, largest crowd in TBT history. And coming into the end of the third quarter, Heartfire totally in control. The AARP team of the TBT, a little older team, but a really well put together team. Basically 8-man rotation, 9-man rotation. Raphael Putney has been a problem, as has Craig Sword.
Here we go.
Jordan Warr just leaving the building at Freedom Hall. Indiana Pacers. Jordan Warr just signed, I think, a new contract. Not breaking news.
There's a three-pointer from Jordan Varnado.
Varnado's been good. That's what he's a pick and pop 4 or 5. Not the athlete or rebounder, but look at this defense right now. I mean, this is the thing about the Underdogs. They have not lost their identity. They've got more talented players, but they have not lost who they are.
Justin Johnson for Eberlein Drive. That was
contested.
Way short. Here's Hudson. Over Johnson, but out. Jace Johnson, the rebound. Heidegger wiggles inside. Elam ending under 4 minutes.
I can't remember the Jackson Underdogs taking a bad shot.
Not one there. DeSante Bradford for 3.
I mean, DeSante Bradford, obviously, that's a wide open shot, but I can't remember the ball getting stuck or them taking a bad shot. And then I can't remember a possession where they've taken a play off defensively. Their ability to guard the ball has been phenomenal.
Goodwin
that
hits
guy's
it.
competed.
You do have a very good memory.
Great memory. For an older man.
Jones. Jace Johnson, the rebound. Jace Johnson grabbed 14 boards a game in the G League last season. There's Justin Johnson.
Justin Johnson's a physical, competitive guy.
Had a great basketball career at Western Kentucky and flirted with the idea of joining the football team as well. Worked out with the football team in the summer, but ultimately did not lace him up on the gridiron.
Good football at Western Kentucky.
Yeah.
You know who used to coach there?
Harbaugh's dad.
That's right, Jack Harbaugh.
Jack Harbaugh.
I'm happy you're passing the quiz.
Thank you.
You're a man for all seasons. Who would the hockey equivalent be to the Jackson Underdawgs?
I mean,
I got your. I can see the steam coming out of your ears right now. I got you percolating a little bit on that one.
Well, maybe we should talk to tournament founder John Mugar about creating a THT, a hockey tournament.
That would give you another couple of weeks' work.
Yeah.
I mean, who's the toughest, most underappreciated hockey team in the NHL?
You talking NHL?
Yeah,
it's hockey, man. They're all tough.
No, wait a second.
I'll tell you what. Here's what I would say. I'd say that, at least looking back at the last Stanley Cup playoffs, the Florida Panthers, came in as the
chip on his shoulder.
It came in as the 8th seed in the Eastern Conference. They beat the Boston Bruins, who set an NHL record for most wins and points in a regular season.
I like that. See, that was you took a little time to digest it.
I wanted to give you a thoughtful answer.
Well, you always say something thoughtful.
Slaughter.
I really felt bad for AJ Slaughter because he just, he every play is hard for him because he just doesn't have anyone to create for him. Hudson's been good. Hudson's a hard matchup because of his length.
Super long. Listed at 6'7".
If I'm not mistaken, Hudson played for Danny Manning at Wake Forest.
Here's Evan Williams, stripped. Up to Jalen Barford, going up to Cornelius Hudson.
So unselfish. Like Barford, he can get a shot anytime he wants it, but you know what he does? He makes the right play. And then on this end, he competes. Look at him sitting in a stance, moving his feet, active hands, looking for deflections.
Varnado ahead to Jones. Glass battling for the rebound, but Eberlein Drive comes up with it. Closing in on the Elam ending. Slaughter for 3. It's not getting the elevation on that ankle, Coach.
Not getting elevation on the ankle, and he's absolutely exhausted because he's got to be involved. Look at how hard these guys play.
Here's Hudson. Bullies his way in.
We are going to have some fun matchups on Thursday night.
Second round of the Louisville Regional of TBT. Not quite to the Elam ending, but Eberlein Drive calls a timeout. These two teams have got great merch, great logos as part of the long-standing TBT programs, and you can get yours at thetournament.com. All kinds of great official TBT gear.
You know what I got last year? My guys from the Underdogs, I got Underdog shorts.
You did?
Yeah, my guys look after
Really?
me.
Wow. That's pretty cool.
You do know I'm a man of the people.
I would have taken those.
See? Well, Coach DeBerry, he's a good man.
He's a great guy. Darius DeBerry, general manager for the Underdogs. A barber.
By day.
A barber by day. That's right, a general manager by night. Look, there's some Jackson, Tennessee Underdogs faithful.
And these guys get in the car and drive. This has been an easier drive for them.
Much easier.
Last year, what
Omaha.
they say,
Yeah.
Omaha was a rough ride for them. Now, Anthony Sampson, who is a long-haul trucker, that's probably not much for him, but I'm not sure he could load everyone up in his truck.
Anthony Sampson,
right? Or,
what's that?
I mean, he's a heavy.
Yeah, 18-wheeler. Yeah,
18-wheeler.
Yeah. Anthony Sampson has not played tonight yet for the Jackson Underdogs, but has somewhat of legendary status in the TBT community. He's 5'4".
Love him.
And has played in 12 career TBT games. Had a great college basketball career at Freed-Hardeman University.
And he's a long hauler, right? I mean, he's a heavy long hauler. That's like me putting up with you for 4 games.
Gotta have a big engine. Target score is 87. Back to the Elam ending after this. Target score has been set. Equal to the leading team score +8. You hit the target score, you win. The game clock is turned off the rest of the way. This is a TBT original, the Elam ending. Both these teams, Eberlein Drive and the Jackson Underdawgs, have been playing in TBT since before the Elam ending was implemented.
What a great idea, though. I mean, it makes every end of game interesting. We've seen amazing comebacks. We've seen all different types of ways to finish a game with steals, threes, layups, free throws, out of timeout plays.
Justin Johnson. And remember, if you hit the Elam ending shot in a pair of Puma shoes, you get a $1,000 bonus. And we've seen that happen already today.
I'm looking on the court, and I'm trying to see what we got going on. Nice drive.
Desante Bradford.
Hard to keep him out of the lane. Knocks down threes, gets to the basket. He's made some terrific decisions.
Justin Johnson tied up. That's jump ball.
I mean, Barford, Bradford, Hudson,
Glass.
There are hard matchups for the Ville. I mean, these are hard matchups. And they play with a similar personality that the Ville plays. Now, this place is going to be rocking and rolling.
Absolutely rocking and rolling.
There's a potential for them to break the Wichita State attendance record.
Heidegger cans the three. Well, that would be a really cool moment. Chris Jones, uncontested.
4 points away.
A really impressive outing for the Jackson, Tennessee Underdogs from start to finish. They have been in control of this game. There's a turnover.
I just love how they play. I mean, they're up 20-plus points, and they're still competing and defending. They're still sharing the basketball. I mean, they're doing all the things that championship teams do.
Tevin Glass to the free throw line. And the Jackson, Tennessee Underdogs winning share sent with Zell. Coaches and players get that sent straight to their bank account in the event they claim a TBT championship. Glass with 19.
When you think about Glass, Barford, Bradford, Hudson, their defense.
Oh my, Emmett Williams.
They need a little bit more of that. But the problem with Emmett Williams, like Slaughter, had no one to create plays for them. And the defense of the Jackson Underdogs just put their offense so far away from the basket.
Chris Jones and the Underdogs are 1 point away from a win in the first round of TBT 2023.
I mean, to the bitter end, they're getting the ball out of Slaughter's hands. Good play, good unselfish play by Emmett Williams.
Archie Goodwin has got 26. Jones. Bradford, fresh shot clock. Barford. Tevin Glass sends the Underdogs into the second round.
And they finish off the way they started by just being relentless on the grass, outworking Eberlein Drive. And let's face it, Eberlein Drive was undermanned. Playing this team without a point guard is a huge disadvantage.
Who takes the Jackson, Tennessee Underdogs name card and updates the bracket? Looks like Tevin Glass, who hit the game-winning shot, will do the honors.
That's a team win right there, though. That was a really good team win. That was fun to watch, how hard they played, how unselfish they were, how competitive they were, the skilled players they have, the shot makers they have, the playmakers they have. That's a complete basketball team.
They'll take on another complete basketball team in the second round, the Louisville alumni team, the Ville, in the second round. But, Coach, let's take a look at our NBA 2K24 play of the game.
This is a microcosm of what this game was all about. Effort, hustle, making the right play, shot making, floor games. There's the drive and the kick out. There's a knockdown three right there. And what happens? Steal the inbounds pass, hustle play, bucket by Hudson. And that was a microcosm of what this game was all about. And I love the way these guys are handling it. They won the game. They're moving on. They're good. They did what they had to do.
As has been the case many a TBT, the Jackson Underdogs disrupt the chalk in their portion of the bracket. They take on the 2 seed, the Ville, on Thursday night after the Gutter Shocks and the Gutter Cats and Shell Shock. I like Gutter Shocks, actually, but That's a Maryland alumni team, Shell Shock, taking on Gutter Cats to start our second round doubleheader from the Ville on Thursday. 4 games, Coach. 2 nail-biters at the start, and then seeing the Ville do its thing. It was a special night here in the Derby City.
It was a great night here in Louisville, and it's only going to get better this coming Thursday.
For our friends at Tupelo Honey and TBT, I'm Chris Foster's, joined by Seth Greenberg, saying good night from TBT Louisville.